Welcome back to the Dumpling Cat cast. We're now on episode 3. Episode 3. We've made it this far. I didn't think we would make it this far, but we did. All right. Once again, yay! Once again, I'm Gary.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Tim.
Together, we are the Dumpling Cat cast. Yeah, this has been
okay.
Yeah, this has been okay. Like I said, I didn't think we ever get this far. This whole show started off as an idea that I never thought would come into fruition, but here we are 3 weeks later doing episode 3.
Look at us now.
Yeah, we're about to hit that 1 hour mark soon. Anyways, let's get into things. All right, so this week I want to talk about some many different interesting things I was thinking about. So, our first topic is, what is your favorite movie monster?
Like, are we seeing like a monster or also like a villain?
Well, I'm talking about like
the
monsters
same thing?
specifically. Kind of the same thing. It's more like we can't say that, I'm trying to avoid the whole, humans were the real monsters all along, because that's like a bogus thing. That's way overdone. I'm talking about stuff like, stuff like, werewolves, like vampires, like Godzilla, King Kong, that type
like
of
mystical
monster, like
creatures.
Like a mystical creature, a fictional creature. Like, what's your favorite and why?
I have one.
Oh, all right. Go for it, Jess.
My favorite movie is Trolls. And so...
Wait, that's your favorite movie?
Yeah, I freaking love Trolls. Hey, I'm a third grade school teacher, okay? Like, this stuff is my niche, okay?
Okay.
I love Trolls. So, I love Trolls and Bergens. Have y'all seen Trolls?
I haven't.
Wait, would you say
Yeah,
Bergens?
Bergens?
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Oh my gosh,
really
this makes me so sad that y'all don't know about Trolls.
And Bergens?
No, I know about Trolls. I don't know the second one.
So Trolls are like the ones that sing and dance, and then Bergens are like always really sad and depressed and like hate their lives. And they eat trolls to be happy. Yeah. I'm so sad. That's my favorite movie.
Was it a live action movie?
No, it's like animation.
Is it? It's the one with Justin Timberlake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a really good soundtrack.
For some reason, when I was thinking about Trolls, I thought it was some movies like in the 80s or 90s, but you're talking about, okay.
No, that's called Troll.
That's called, okay. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Trolls, the colorful Trolls.
Wait, what about them? These specifically?
Yeah.
So about Trolls, I love that they sing. They sing all the time, and they're always like super happy and upbeat. Yeah, they're just like always in good moods. And then I feel like Bergens are like the alter egos, and they're just like super depressed and sad. And so like the story behind that is that Bergens like eat trolls to be happy. Yeah.
So if they don't eat,
then they're
trolls,
just like
then
sad.
They stay sad forever. Wait, how is that a kids movie? That sounds terrifying.
That's a little scary.
They're
you have this
the
like
villain.
sad, depressing monster just eating.
But like, you can be a villain. Like,
Y'all have to watch it. Trolls is amazing.
it's cannibalism.
No, they're not the same.
Do you have any troll like dolls in real life?
I don't. However, I like at school, I have like a troll, like Princess Poppy pillow.
It's Poppy.
I'm guessing that's a character from the movie.
Isn't that like
Princess
cocaine?
Queen Poppy. No, she's the princess.
Cocaina?
She's Anna Kendrick plays her.
Oh, of course Anna Kendrick would play some singing character.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, everybody's a singing character in Trolls. I love Trolls.
That is very interesting. I would say my favorite, I would actually go with Godzilla. I think I've seen like a lot of Godzilla movies. I like back in the day in the 90s where it's just a man in a little suit. He's like, and it's like Godzilla versus Mothra, Godzilla versus like Giga or Mecha Godzilla. I remember I watched those movies, and I don't know. I think back then it was like pretty cool to watch like an Asian show or movie, you know. I don't know why I think it that way, but I was like, oh, like this is an Asian monster movie and it's pretty cool. And I think Godzilla's always been cool. And I remember when the first American Godzilla movie came out with the guy Ferris Bueller, who plays Ferris Bueller, forgot.
Oh, Matthew.
Yeah,
Broderick or
Matthew
something?
Broderick. Yeah, I think he was in that movie, and like pretty much Godzilla invades New York. And I just remember that was a really cool movie, and I still remember the iconic like there's like Godzilla attacked this like Japanese ship, and the guy who plays he's that assassin, Lion and Matilda. Remember with it's like an assassin movie with a little girl, and her name is Matilda.
Oh, Leon the Professional.
Leon the Professional, and so he's in that movie. That actor, and so he gets like this lighter, and he hypnotizes the Japanese survivor, the only Japanese survivor, like who did it, and the Asian guy, he just opens his eyes, he goes, Godzilla. And I was like, oh, that's kind of racist. Why you gotta say it like that?
No, that's how it's said in Japanese.
I know, but I forgot like after so long, man. I remember. And I remember when it came out on a Saturday morning cartoons on Fox, I remember I watched Godzilla for a bit too. Yeah. So I would say that would be my favorite like movie monster.
Have you seen the newer Godzilla movies?
I watched the first new one, where they don't really show you Godzilla at all, but I haven't had a chance to watch the new one. Is it with Mothra? Or is it just all of them?
Oh man. Dude, the new one is it's like all Godzilla. You got Godzilla, you got King
Kong?
Ghidorah?
Oh.
I think that's his name. No.
Sorry.
And then you have Mothra.
He does fight King Kong, right?
Yeah, and the next movie is Godzilla versus King Kong.
See? Dang. Asia versus America. What about for you, Gary?
I have to go classic. I guess my favorite movie monster is the Xenomorph from the movie Alien. So I choose a Xenomorph from Alien because I don't know, I always like sci-fi stuff, and you know, when I first watched the movie Alien, like just seeing like this unknown creature just going around like the ship and nobody knows what's going on, and it just kind of kills everybody. And then like, you know, later on you get to know that, you know, I just find it like a really interesting creature because it's like super quiet. You can't ever hear it coming for you. It can basically like go anywhere it wants. Like even if you try to like harm it somehow, the blood that comes out is acid. So like you have to be careful of that too. And plus it has like the sharp tail. It can like just like stab you and stuff. I just like it because like, you know, there's like a scene in I think the second one where like a bunch of aliens just kind of like attack them, and you just see like the queen just controlling them all and stuff. But I think the most interesting part is like it starts off as like an egg, but people don't know what the egg is, so they like look into it or whatever. Then out pops like this little crab thing and just like sucks under your face and like plants his egg into you. And then like later on in the movie, they're like, "Oh, I'm kind of sick." And then you get that scene where the alien finally like just bursts out of your chest and like and just like climbs.
Oh,
everywhere.
I have seen this movie. Oh,
wait, how old were you when you watched this movie, Gary?
I mean, I've watched many horror movies when I was young, just because for whatever reason my mom decided it was a good idea to watch it with me. So I've seen so many horror movies when I was little, but you know, it was like I even saw Child's Play, you know, Chucky, the little doll thing. So I was scared of dolls for the longest time. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street when I was a kid. I was scared of sleeping for the longest time. You know, that kind of stuff. But
this is starting to make a lot of sense now. It's starting to make a lot of sense a bit about you. I'm starting to be like, okay. Wait, but how young were you when you say kid? Like, were you like 7 or 8, or were you like 10, 11?
Oh no, I was like 5 or 6. maybe 7.
Like a
That kind of
child. You're a baby.
I feel like the most traumatic thing I watched when I was a 5 or 6-year-old was when Mufasa dies in Lion King, and then you were watching Chucky. So I just want you to know, like, we had very different, childhoods.
Oh, dude, I was like scared of everything when I was a kid just because of that.
I was scared of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh yeah, there's some creepy
I was so
scenes.
scared of that.
Low key, like I was terrified of that movie, that show, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I would only watch it when it was like daytime. I couldn't watch it at night.
I was scared of just always.
Okay, another side story. Like I said, I'm very cowardly. I was scared to watch Scooby Doo because even like the build up music gets creepy in Scooby Doo. So I was like, nope, I'm not about this life. Go give me that Bugs Bunny, okay? Come on now.
You know what else I was scared of? E.T. I cried watching E.T. I was so scared of that guy. So creepy.
What is it, the glowing fingers?
I think it was just like the way he looked. Like he's supposed to be cute, but like, just freaks me out.
Dang, I can't believe you watch all those horror movies.
So basically, since I was scared of everything, I tried doing that, what's it called? Exposure therapy. It's where you expose yourself to things more and more until you get like
desensitized to it
and stuff. Desensitized to it. So
you're like torturing yourself mentally.
Well, not anymore because I'm like basically dead inside now. But
you said it, not me. You said it, not me.
Anyways, moving on to the next question. I think this one's kind of interesting. If you could have a billboard with anything on it for a whole month, and this billboard would be displayed like over like a highway or something, what would it be and why? So my idea is, I mean, it's very easy for me to just sell out and just give it to someone else, but I think I would just put like a giant like timer that counts down for the entire month, and then every day it would just keep like counting down like a clock. But then like when there's like a couple days left, like it starts like flashing colors, like to give it like a more like intense feeling. But then on the very like final day, it just goes to 0 and just like shuts off, and then nothing would happen. But the entire month, the people would just be wondering like, what is this timer counting down to? And people would just be like psychologically tortured the whole time.
All right, this goes back into what we said. Who's the monster? Who's the real monster now? Flashing lights, you're going to cause people some seizures. You're going to cause accidents.
Okay, it wouldn't be flashing that like, it would just be like, not like strobe light, but like just on and off. But
like every second?
5-second interviews. Well, not every second is too. Okay, every like 2 seconds.
Could you imagine doing that in the quarantine right now? They'll get like a drone shot of like a timer going down, and there's barely any people at night. It's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna die.
Exactly. This would freak people out so much, and it would be worth.
And he'd just be sitting there like
money.
Chuckling to himself.
What would cause the most chaos? Either that or a giant mirror as a billboard.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the randomest thing. A giant mirror. Oh my gosh. That's
of course, like you do run into like the problem, like when the sun's like around noontime, it like creates an angle and like reflects off the mirror.
It's gonna blind somebody.
See, all you want to do is just create chaos. Think about how many birds are gonna like fly into it and just like die. He don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't do the mirror. I would do the timer.
Jess, you have something?
Yes. I would have a shameless plug for Dumpling Cat Cast. Yeah.
I would have a picture of Gary. I would have a picture of Gary and his phone number up there.
Dude, I'm gonna get my phone. I have to get a new phone if you did that.
No, you just have to change your number.
I'll put Gary's personal email.
Yeah, that's easier to change. It's
Hey, I'll
easy
just
to
get
change.
another billboard with your email on it.
Put it right next to each other. Or no, it could be like one of those marquee ones, and then it just like scrolls. So like whichever number it's on, that's what they get.
I think it'd be funny if we had like 10 billboards in a row that we all owned, and it's just us fighting with each other all the way to the end. What the heck? How do you come up with these questions? They're so random. I love it.
Oh, you know what I did? I just went to like random topics generator and I hit it like 10 times. It just spits out like this list and just pick out some random ones.
Dang, yeah. I couldn't imagine what to do with the billboard, so I probably would do that. Or maybe like shamelessly plug New Life and see what happens. But I think it'd be funny if I just had a big picture of your face and then your email on it.
Really?
No, and like nothing else. Like no like single or who is this, like just have a picture of your face and have your email and that's it, and just see what happens.
Wait, which picture would you use?
I would use the picture of you doing this. I would use that one.
Okay, good answers, guys. Let's go to the next question. What's the food that you wish did not exist? So for instance, for me, I would choose, you ever go to the store, like you go to like the candy aisle and you see those, you know, those, that like big orange little thing called circus peanuts?
What?
Well,
Wait, you ever had the circus peanuts
don't think
candy?
oh, they're candy.
It's like a candy. It's basically like this giant marshmallow kind of thing, except when you bite into it, your teeth kind of get
like
stuck.
the toffee
And
thing.
it's like really hard and chewy. It's kind of like a toffee thing.
Is it like in a cube?
Yeah, I don't. It's shaped like a giant peanut, orange peanut. Yeah, it's called circus peanuts. I don't know if you've ever had
This
them.
thing?
But if you look up the picture, maybe you'll see it. Yeah, those things.
Ew, they look like
I do not like those.
they look like poop. Like
They do not look appetizing.
like a nutty poop.
Like
No, they're terrible.
orange poops.
Yeah, like they're like giant, like not giant, but like medium-sized, like orange poops. That like when you bite into it, it kind of just like, I don't know. It's really hard to chew and everything. And I
Wait,
just
this
don't
looks
like it.
creepy. This is the packaging. That
Yeah,
clown
and there's
is
like this weird
creepy.
clown on the front.
Wait, when did you ever eat it?
Oh, I think when I was little, they gave these out during Halloween or something one time, and I just
Okay.
remember trying to eat it, and it was terrible.
I would want to get rid of any kind of bug that became a food.
So, like,
Yeah.
like crickets.
Crickets, grasshoppers, scorpions, pupa, all that, all of that
Silkworms.
stuff. Ugh.
But what about the environmental impacts?
No, as foods, they can exist on the earth, but I wish that like whoever thought that crickets would be juicy snacks, just that completely wipe it out.
I don't know. Maybe the guy who like had like a pet lizard and you just seeing them like munching on crickets all day.
Gary,
probably
don't
thought,
make
like,
excuses
it's
for them.
probably pretty good.
They're getting blipped. Tim's gonna
Okay.
blip them.
Okay.
I'm not going to blip them. You're blipping them. You're taking that responsibility. I was just saying I would take certain responsibilities. Man, honestly, I don't know if there's a lot of food that I wouldn't eat. If there's just something I don't want to eat, I just won't eat it. You know, like I won't. Why do that to myself? Why? But I think if I could eliminate one thing, I want to just be controversial and just be like, I want to eliminate kale. Like
What did kale ever do to you?
Yeah, what did kale ever
They
do to
caused-
you?
They caused a movement against meat.
I have kale in my fridge right now.
You know what? I would like to eliminate raspberries.
Oh yeah, you know
Raspberries?
what? I don't understand raspberries
I don't
and
get
blackberries.
Wait,
Oh yeah,
really?
blackberries I get. I like blackberries. Raspberries I don't get. Like raspberries are like uncomfortably too fuzzy. At least the ones I've
yeah.
What
eaten.
about like peaches? Then?
But you don't always have to. I feel like peaches,
You could peel it.
you could peel it, and
Oh, you can't
it's
peel a raspberry.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you just have to eat the raspberry whole. You know, I
And
don't
like
know.
peaches, when you like eat the peach, like the peach fuzz, you can't feel it. But like raspberries, when you put it in your mouth, like it feels like felty,
Yeah, and it doesn't like
like velvety.
it's too tarty to be good. Like, there's not a balance of tart and sweetness. It's just tart and fuzz.
What about the blue Jolly Rancher?
Is that blue raspberry?
Yeah.
It's not blueberry. Well, we can eliminate that too because we don't need that kind of terrible stuff in the world. Like, it's just, I just think it's a very pointless fruit. Okay, and whenever I like see it on my fruit tart, I'm like, what the heck? This is so pointless. Just give me 3 pieces of strawberry. Why do you have to give me a raspberry? Like,
I
they're
just don't
just
like
giving
the
it to me
seeds.
because
I don't like the seeds in it.
texture and the taste. Raspberry, flip you. I'm calling
Damn, I
it.
never knew about this vendetta against raspberries that you had.
Hey man, I'm a
Gary,
man
you're
of
just gonna
many-
have you're gonna have to make some kind of like raspberry dessert and change his mind.
But why? Like,
What do you mean,
why? You could,
I feel like
You could-
sometimes they could be good
but when?
as a syrup.
Okay.
As a
Yeah, the
syrup.
syrup. You add,
Okay,
yeah, you add sugar.
so you guys are saying you'd rather make a syrup out of raspberries than like strawberries.
No, you can make both.
But why?
They taste different. They like taste completely different.
But is it worth spending energy and time to do it?
Is it worth spending energy and time to do anything, Tim?
No, but I'm saying, like, but you know strawberries are going to taste good. Do you
Not
know?
always.
Not
Okay,
always.
I
Not
feel like
always.
they have a higher chance of tasting better than raspberries. I think you guys are just trying to fight me, so we should just stop because I've already won this conversation. I don't know. Raspberries are just weird. Yeah, no raspberries.
I feel like I could go both ways about raspberries. Like I could do without, but sometimes it could be good.
Okay, what if it's like, because I never really eat raspberries by themselves. I always eat them as part of like a mixed berry kind of thing.
Okay,
Right.
well that's probably why you don't understand it.
So
Exactly. Just get a pack of raspberries and just see if you finish it and see if you enjoy it.
no, man, raspberries are too expensive. All right, next
Oh my
question.
God.
He's looking at the organic
Next
kinds.
question.
He's tired.
I'll pick my own raspberries.
Feel some
Next question. Question is, what social norms did you wish did not exist? Or you wish existed? Either or. Okay, so I'll go the other way. A social norm that I wish existed was if it was socially acceptable to just run everywhere so that it's just faster. Because I feel like if I'm just like want to go to the store or something, I just want to just run just so I get there faster. But if, people see me running into a store, running out of the store, they might assume like I stole something or I'm up to something, and I would get really weird looks. But I just want to get,
You just want to be efficient.
yeah, I just want to be efficient.
Isn't the most efficient thing is just to order your groceries and then just pick it up?
No, because you can't pick your own groceries.
No, but you can't. You can order curbside pickup or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm just using the store as an example. But like, if I wanted to like walk down the sidewalk to like, this or that, I'm like in the city area, I just want to just like run everywhere. Or if I'm like
Instead of
at work,
walking.
instead of walking, or maybe like, not just like sprint, but kind of just lightly walk or jog a little bit
Jog.
faster, skip. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you can do that and it's not. Are you saying because you wish it was normal so people wouldn't think it's weird? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It was more normal, but of course, I think there's still a reason why it's not normal because you got the wet floors, you got the whole. If everyone ran, people kind of just run into each other. But then we would have like each thing would just do like lanes, just like a highway. Fast running people would be on like the left side of the room, and then like the slower people would be like on the right side of the room and stuff like that. But this gets
Running
really
in a walking
complicated.
lane.
Yeah, running in a walking lane. Like at the airport. I wish you could run in the airport, but it's highly frowned upon. They have those I don't know, flat escalators, whatever those things are called.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you basically you can use those to go, boost yourself faster. And yeah, if you just want to stand and just go along for the ride, you stay on the right. If you're in a hurry, just pass people on the left. Something like that. I just want to get stuff done faster, just because I don't know.
Time is money.
Time is money.
I think for me, the social norm that I would like to incorporate would be a little bit of Japanese culture where it's like, be clean, like be responsible of your trash. And like, I heard that in Japanese schools, they don't have janitors or cooks. It's the responsibility of the students. Yeah, they have to take care of their classrooms. They have to take care of their classmates. So I would like that kind of responsibility of the citizens, as well as, when you're on the subway or if you see someone, like there's that respect for elders. And I would think that's like a great thing to incorporate. But along with that kind of Japanese or Asian mindset of being responsible, clean, and respectful to your elders, I think I would also incorporate a little bit of Southern hospitality. I like both times when I went to New York, I always got caught holding the door for people because that's just kind of how you do things here in the South.
Mm-hmm.
You just hold the door and people say thank you. And if someone sees that you've been holding the door for a long time, someone will usually switch with you. Like people don't take that for granted. Where in other places, it's like, you just do you. Or if you bump into someone, if they're in a hurry or just in general, some people just bump into you. I'll always say, oh, sorry. Like that's just very normal to me. But I remember being in New York, I was bumping people and I was like, oh, sorry. But they're just looking at me like, you don't need to say sorry. I was like, oh, I don't know. I just think having a little bit of what is it? What's the word?
Kindness,
manners.
Basic manners.
So you just want people to have
Come
manners?
on, New York.
Yeah, basically, I'm calling out the North and all the people with no manners. Like that'd be cool.
But if they're running everywhere, how do they have time for manners?
Social etiquette.
Yeah, like, are you telling me you can't? Every time you run, you bump into people. Like you can't not hit someone, or you can kind of slow down.
Or like avoid them, like move your shoulders so that you don't bump in.
Right. And if you had a running section and a walking section, then usually the runners will stay in their lane and the walkers will stay in their lane. Etiquette. Exactly. Manners. Etiquette.
Yep. Like when people walk in the bike lane when you're biking.
Yeah. I don't bike, so I don't know that.
I don't bike either, but that's
I'm probably the person that walks in the bike lane.
Yeah. Like looking where you're walking, don't just walk in front of a car. Like come on, man. Come on. Be safe. Manners.
I think I have a couple. I think so. The first one, it kind of goes with yours, Tim, with like the level of respect. But I feel like there are flaws to every kind of system, but I think because American culture doesn't have a honorific system and just general respect for elders kind of deal. I feel weird calling my super a lot older coworker by their first name. That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
That's so weird to me. And so just some kind of I guess baseline for that. I don't know. I wish that there was something like that in place in America.
Yeah. If you're 10 or 15 years older than me, I would want to call you Mr. or Mrs. or Miss,
Yeah. My coworker, since I'm a teacher, a lot of other my coworkers are older women. One of my partner teachers, she just retired this year. and like she's 60 and I'm 24. And so it's like I call her by her first name and I feel like I'm like a teenager throwing a tantrum at her like mom or grandma, like
Hey, Mary.
calling her by her first name. I feel so rude.
Hey,
And I'm just
Dolores.
like, oh.
I see that you're doing this.
I feel
Her name is Kim.
Kim. I feel like unless you're like royalty or something, or if you're a doctor, there's really no room for honorifics in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like
professor.
For my whole first year of teaching, I called them like Miss whatever, and they're like, stop calling me Miss.
Yeah, because I guess like once like you're like 25 and up, or maybe even to your 30s, or you work in a professional setting, people, they don't want age to kind of be a barrier for you to, I guess, get close to people. But
I'm not 25 yet.
Yeah, that's true. You're a child. She's a baby. I can understand too.
Call
Yeah.
us Mr. Then, right?
Oh god.
Since you're not 25, you call
Mr.
us
Tim,
Mr.
Mr. Tim, Mr. Gary.
Tim.
Yeah. So I don't know about y'all, but like I remember going to youth retreat this past year, and I just told all the middle school and high school kids, just call me Tim. Like, don't call me Mr. Tim. Don't call me Mr. Kim. Just call me Tim. Like, I'm totally fine. Like, I might be 3 times older than some of y'all, but just call me Tim. Like, I had to put the basis. Like, so I can kind of understand. Like, maybe for the sake of the person who's older, they might themselves feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
yeah,
that kind of makes sense. Yeah, I remember the first time I went to like in my first job, and I was calling people that were older than me their first name. I think the first month was just very uncomfortable, but you just get used to it.
Yeah. I feel like unless you have like a doctor in front of your name or like, yeah, some kind of title like that, like people just call you by your first name, and that's like, it just like blows my mind.
Yeah. Cause I guess like definitely because most of us are in the Asian culture, and like just you and I are Korean, like I could never imagine being in a Korean workplace and then just calling someone who's like my dad's age his first name, right?
Yeah.
It would just be freaky.
Yeah.
It feels wrong, right? It feels weird.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Another one that I had was, I guess it's for like the present society of like a cell phone society. I wish that we could take away the norm of like looking at your phone when you feel awkward. Like I feel like people don't understand like just like what life is like without this in front of their face, like a phone in front of their face, like a waiting room, right? Like before cell phones, like you literally like either watch the TV that's in the waiting room, or you like talk to people.
Read the
but
magazines.
Like, yeah, but then like now everyone's just like, oh, I feel awkward, so I'm just gonna like close and reopen apps that are on my phone so that people think I'm like occupied with something, so they don't bother me.
Why don't you just put on headphones? Because I think once you put on headphones, it's automatic, don't talk to me kind of thing.
But like I'm talking about like moving away from that.
Oh, moving away from.
Yeah, like just having like simple conversations. Like I feel like when I was younger, like my mom would make friends with like the people at like the supermarket talking about how fresh like the apples are or something like that. Like they would like have conversations like that, like randomly.
Yeah.
And like they wouldn't be like getting their number and like becoming like super close friends, but like it'll be like that kind of Southern hospitality, like that friendliness of just like socializing.
It's basically what you're trying to say is it shouldn't be super as awkward for people to just talk to strangers and just be friendly for like no reason, right?
Yeah, like even when you check out at the grocery store, right? Like people hate social interaction so much that there's self checkout lanes. And like even like when you go through the checkout lane, like with another, like the cashier, right? Like they always like make it a point to say like, hi, how are you doing today? And then some people are just like, I'm good. And then they like
Oh
literally
yeah.
go their whole time just on their phone and then like pay and then leave.
Yeah.
And so just things like that.
Or even it doesn't even have to be strangers. I think nowadays, like even when we're uh sitting together, like eating dinner or just hanging out, there's often times where everyone's in the same room, but everyone's on their phones and
Mm-hmm.
not really talking to
Right.
each other.
Yeah. I think in that part I agree. I think for me, if I was like in a waiting room, I'm on my phone, and it's not just because it's. I would think like, oh, if I didn't have my phone, I would just watch TV or read a magazine, right? But it's like, oh, I can do both of those things on my phone. So for me, I would be like, if it was like a private setting or a small setting where I'm not really like engaging with anyone, I feel more comfortable there. But like in social gatherings, I try always to like not be on my phone. Whether it's a small gathering or a large gathering, like I try my best not to have my phone on me, because then it's like, if you're here to like interact with people, then go interact, right? Like my intentions are to like be present in that situation. So yeah, I can't. It's weird how like we're in a generation now that if we go on dates, our friends have to tell us, like people have to tell you like, don't be on your phone the whole time on the date, right? Like it's considered rude. Like growing up, nobody told you that because you didn't have your phone. You didn't really have a phone, or if you did have a phone, it's not like you could check stuff. You just keep it in your pocket and you use it for when you need to call someone. That was it. That's all it was used for, just to call. But it's just weird. Like we are so preoccupied and we are so much more comfortable that it has like caused people to be very detached.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like one time I had like a professional development at a high school and it was like during the day. So like the kids were still in class and it was like the passing period time. And someone came on the announcements and was like, don't forget about our challenge for the month to turn and talk to your friends during passing period and put your phone away. I thought that was like the
Oh my
craziest thing
gosh.
ever. Yeah. And then like right outside the classrooms, like you'll see signs that have like, like the non-smoking signs, like the red
Mm-hmm.
circle with a line. It's like instead of a cigarette, obviously, it has AirPods, and they're like, put your
Ooh.
AirPods away.
Yeah. I feel like that's like such a game changer. I mean, back then on your phone, like all you really did was either call your parents or play games
Snake.
on your phone. Yeah. Like that's all I remember using my phone for. Right. Because there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram. I didn't need to check anything online. It was just my friends are here. And that blows my mind. Like you're walking through classes, not talking to your friends. But when I think about that, that was pretty much college, right? College is I just put on my headphones and then I just walk to the next class. I don't really engage with people unless I have friends taking the same class with me, or I'm gonna go meet someone.
That was me in high school. I think
Mm.
Instagram came out when I was like a junior or a senior.
Nowadays, it's just we've evolved to a culture where we just check Instagram like every 2 minutes, expecting something to change, but nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically just become like a habit
Yeah.
that we've kind of evolved into. But yeah, one day we're all gonna become like those people in those chairs, like Wally, just
Oh my
floating
gosh.
around.
With the screen right in front of us.
I know we're saying like in jest that that could happen, but I totally agree. Like these kids are so, I mean, not even just kids, but everyone is just glued to their phones. A lot of the older generations are on Facebook or on uh, Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff. They're starting more and more like people who get on it and think about like people are just having discussions only through Twitter or only through Facebook comments. Like people, I think that's why like the culture has now become very aggressive and we're not open to really listening to one another and have like conversations where it's okay to have a differing opinion, but we won't like make assumptions about people's character. But now it's like, if you don't agree with me, then you're a bigot. Or if you don't agree with me, then there's something wrong with you. Like, people are so quick to just throw people under the bus if they don't have like-minded conversations, because all these like social media groups have allowed people to everyone. Number one, you give everyone a voice, and two, you find other people have similar voices with you, so you can kind of like you don't feel alone. Where before, like, you, I guess you had to kind of like beware of what you say. You know, there was actual thought before you put into words. But
Yeah, and even then, you know, everyone's communicating through a screen. It's even I like have noticed this too. It's very different, you know, typing out a message or doing a conversation with someone over like text messaging or something versus actually, you know, meeting them up in person, or I guess, or even like calling to them. And other ways, like I really feel like this may even I guess hinder some social skills for some people, you know, if they're still used to just like typing out like everything or whatever and not really getting a chance to meet people in face to face and interact with them physically. You know, I just think that it just makes it a lot tougher when, you know, they have to go out there, and I don't know if they'll, I mean, I'm sure they'll still do the, you know, in-person interviews, you know, versus like, you know, stuff like that.
yeah, it's still so weird that, like, also with the input of dating apps, and now a very common way for people to meet one another is just sliding into each other's DMs. I just think it's so interesting, where before it's like guys had to just go see the girl and like make a first impression and, you know, have the courage to ask her out. But when you're doing it online, you can just literally DM hundreds of girls and just shoot your shot and be more of like quantity than quality, you know. So I just find it you're right, like it does hinder the social skills. Like, what do you do when all the phones are taken away? You know.
Exactly. Anyways, all right, I think we have time for one last question. Let's end with something a little bit more lighthearted.
Ooh.
All right, final question. If you were a type of food, what type of food would you be? So, for instance, appetizer, main course, salad, soup, or etc.
You want a full course meal of what we are?
No, like which part of the course would you be?
Which part of the course would you be?
I would be what is it? The main course. I'd be the main course.
The main course.
Yeah. But I wouldn't be like an expensive main course. I'd be like a pretty cheap course. How I think of it is, I think I'd be like a very, I'd be a burrito. You know?
Burrito?
Yeah. And when I say burrito, it's like, I got a lot of things inside.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
You know? I got some meat. I got some cheese. I got some rice. If you fancy, you know, I got some guacamole, you know, maybe with real avocados. I got some tomatoes. I got some hot sauce. I'm a bit spicy. I feel like I have everything that you're looking for, all just bundled up together. But the thing is, I'm quite big, so I'm quite the mouthful. So you gotta. I'm just the main course. Like, you gotta be ready. You gotta be hungry. I'm a lot to handle. Is what I'm pretty much saying.
I gotta hold you with two hands. Is what you're trying to say?
2 hands. Yeah. I'm. How big am I? I'm at least 2 foil. You know, to wrap me up. 2 foil. Okay, not just 1 foil.
2 foil.
And if you don't take care of me, if you only focus on eating at one side, I'm gonna spill over because there's a lot to handle. You know, so 2 hands. Use a fork and spoon. That's what I am. I'm a burrito.
Do you have the queso smothered on the top?
Nah, I have the queso inside. I have shredded cheese and I have queso because I'm a cheesy man.
So are you deep fried? Because then we can call you a chimichanga.
Nah. Okay, that was
Oh my gosh, I'm like cringing.
Damn, I wasn't even thinking about that. No, I wouldn't be deep fried. I don't want to be. I'm not that hot to handle. You know, I like to be. I like to be. I like to be held. I like to be held.
You're not a fork and knife kind of guy.
I mean, sometimes like after you dig in halfway and you got you need some help, because if you don't take care of me, I'm just gonna spill over.
Because you've fallen apart.
I'm falling apart. Hey, when you get halfway, I'm falling apart. All right. I'm top heavy. Okay, but as you eat me, everything goes down and I get unstable. So you gotta be careful. I'm precious.
Oh my gosh.
Precious.
Hey, but you always got the chips and salsa on the side. You know, kind of help
To
you out
scoop
a
it
little
up.
bit. You know, when the burrito falls apart, just scoop out the rest.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit nachos kind of thing.
Yeah. I got layers to me.
All right, Jess, do you have an answer?
I was thinking a little bit more like top tier quality, like when like you choose a set and like the whole course is already laid out for you, and then they just like bring out stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So in that kind of course, I think I'd be the appetizer. It's because you get a little peek. It's just a little peek. It's not like a full on thing. It's not like super intense. Like you get a little taste and it just like sets the tone for the whole meal.
Dang, that's pretty good.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. What kind of appetizer you think you'd be?
I don't know. Something fresh, like something vegetable.
All right.
Some kind of
vegetable. I got super disinterested as soon as you said vegetable.
You gotta think fancy. The meat doesn't come until the main course.
I guess when you're a fancy place, when you're a top tier place, usually you get a nice palate cleanser. So that would be like a salad. I was thinking like Chili's, where they have the triple sampler and they have the fried egg rolls, the mozzarella sticks, the buffalo wings. I was like, oh, okay, there we go. I'm
talking about the kind of restaurant where you get like 7 different dishes, but the thing is like this big. Because you get like a little taste of everything. So then by the end, you're like full.
Jess, you know what I call that? A waste of money.
You got that little plate. You have like the tiny piece of meat, but like this really nice like sauce, like
I just got so offended.
I'm not saying you're a waste of money. I'm saying places that serve little foods like that are a waste of money to me.
But you're telling me that I want to be part of that course and telling me that I'm a waste of money.
All right, we gotta edit that out. I'm just kidding.
Tim, didn't you just say you wanted quality over quantity?
When it comes to
what happened to the quality? You're falling apart. I'm just getting started.
I'm already halfway into the burrito. They're not taking care of it. Everything's spilling out. They try to take a bite and they actually squeeze the bottom. Everything spilled out.
I think I'd have something like vegetable with like some kind of seafood and like maybe a little bit of caviar on top. Yeah.
Dang, you're really fancy.
Something fresh. Something fresh.
Is caviar fresh?
Caviar is not fresh. Isn't caviar like fermented? It has to be,
right?
I just thought it was raw fish eggs.
I thought it was fish. I don't know. I've never had.
It gets more expensive, I think, the more you age it.
So pretty much you're saying that the guy needs to be rich to handle you.
Hell yeah. I want to experience that like at least once in my life. Just going to a place where like just like a full thing is set for me.
Well, I
wouldn't even mind paying for it. I wouldn't even mind paying for it. But like, I just want to go and like enjoy eating. Actually, I don't know if I'll even enjoy it. I've seen it, but like,
what if you spent like $40 on an appetizer and you didn't even like it?
Yeah, well, it's like part of a whole course, right? So you're paying for the whole like list of things. Mm-hmm. Like you're not selecting one by one. It's like already like a list of things that like this chef has like put.
But like you said, it's the tone for it, right?
Yeah.
For me, I want to say Happy Meal because I really liked those when I was a kid, but I'm not going to say Happy Meal. I don't think I want to choose a bento box. You know, Ooh. It's like nicely organized, even though I'm not really organized, but you know, got your rice, like the bland stuff, but it's good with other, seasoned stuff. And you get like the little vegetables. Sometimes you get like the fried, shrimp or meat or whatever. And then you have the little, sometimes you even have like sushi, but then you get like that really cool, plastic grass thingy. Okay, you don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I know
That's why
exactly
I'm
what you're talking
laughing.
about.
Yeah, those things are super cool. I love those grass thingies.
It's like a partition to like make sure like foods aren't touching each other.
Yeah, foods aren't touching each other. And then, you can even decorate these bento boxes like, different shapes or characters or whatever.
What would be your main part?
I would probably say like, I guess I really like curry and tonkatsu. So maybe like tonkatsu curry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Would you get a miso soup?
Yeah, so even it comes with a soup too. It's like a miso
service
soup on the side. So
complimentary miso soup.
So basically, what I'm saying, like, I got basically like the small all-in-one package. Yes, I don't know if that makes any sense.
It makes sense.
That sounds something
Makes
that
sense.
you would be.
It sounds very, very like you.
Okay. All right. Once again, thank you everyone for listening through all of our crazy ramblings, mostly my crazy ramblings. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, please send them all to dumplingcatmail@gmail.com. But yeah, until next time, I'm Gary and joined by Jess and Tim. Peace.
Bye.
Laters.